bad. 1,000,000%. That's unhealthy as fuck. You always know they're a ladder climber. You always know.
When you say someone's bad, what do you mean by that? So I give you content creator A, and I'm going to tell you about them. They only talk
Okay.
to other content creators.
Mhm.
They're always doing the network thing. They're always doing the like, oh my gosh, I just love all this stuff, and never interact behind the scene. Lots of fakeness going on. What do you mean when you say bad?
Uh, Going to hurt someone. They're going to hurt someone or the space. They're going to do something not good. They're going to end up deceiving people. Deception, lying to their community, lying to their friends, giving them unrealistic expectations of what they actually are.
Okay. Has there been any moments that when you look at your own career where you would call yourself a bad guy?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I was a bad guy. Um, I was a bad guy when I played Genshin Impact. I absolutely was. I was an absolute fucking supervillain. I was far too abrasive with the messages I was trying to give. I was far too vindictive for trying to right the wrongs, and I think I made a lot of extreme comments that I shouldn't have. However, I would like to say I was driven to that madness. I didn't choose it. There's when you're in that space that was that volatile. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, dude, I had 9 content creators coming at me at the same fucking time. My chat refers it as the great 1v9ing, but that space was awful. That shit made me a horrible person. That's why I had to get the fuck out. I only played Genshin for like a year and a half. Uh, but that's a big part of my career that people talk about because I was an absolute fucking super villain during those days. But I think it was a necessary evil. It's
Okay.
like Askeladd from Vinland Saga. You ever seen Vinland Saga?
Yes. I love that
It's a
movie.
good ass show. Good
Yes,
ass show.
show. I my
Yeah.
favorite quote is I have no enemies. I think
Yep.
that's a good challenge.
Yeah. I would say that's who I'm trying to be like. But it's hard. Everybody should strive to be Tortefeuille. But it's a hard process to get there.
How do you how do you do that if you're always jumping into drama and you're spite driven? If you become Torfine, what drives you?
Well, so I'm not there yet. I'm trying to be. But the important thing is that throughout my career, and feel free for anybody to challenge me on this. Um, I don't strike first ever. I just I will always hit back, but I will never hit first. So if someone is shit talking me or my friends, I will say something, but I will never go out of my way to shit on somebody for no reason.
Okay.
Like
So,
for example, the whole Destiny thing. I
mhm.
have no issues with Destiny. I've had no issues with Destiny. But then he's gonna crash the fuck out on Donut and Brandon because for some reason he is lacking the understanding that people will be more emotionally invested when they're on a scene looking for dead little girls rather than some guy who's sitting in his room typing on the computer about how he doesn't think it's that bad. Like that was just such a fucking unhinged thing to do. It makes no sense. And like, I feel like a lot of people just lack emotional intelligence to understand maybe the reason why they called NMP a bad word is because while he's out there making jokes, they're out there trying to save lives. And I feel like it's really not that hard to understand. And I really feel like it's just, it's really not that big of a deal.
So when you talk about this character change, I've noticed, so you've talked about a few people. They're bad, they've hurt people. I was a supervillain at this time. I was way too harsh and abrasive. And you changed, it sounds like. Um,
Yes, absolutely.
how? How do you change? And how does anyone change?
Um, Escape the shackles that bind them.
Okay.
For me, I was a product of my environment, so I escaped the environment. Like it's like a fucking dog. You have a dog, and they're in fucking panic all day because they're living in a fucking junkyard, and they get kicked by their fucking owner, and just loud shotguns and beer cans being thrown at them, and then you take them back to your house, and you let them know everything's okay. You give them their own crate, you feed them some nice kibble, you talk quieter to them, you make sure that they feel safe, and then eventually that dog has an opportunity to realize, oh, I'm okay now.
I think what's interesting though is that there's before you change your environment, there has to precede that a moment where you look at your life and you go, something has to change. This isn't working anymore. And it's that moment of self-awareness that I think is interesting. In the case of the dog in like the abusive household, the dog isn't like doing some introspection, being like, man, I need to change my life. That's you rescuing the dog, right? In the case of you
Yeah.
being the Genshin supervillain and then realizing that you needed to change by getting out of the environment, how does that occur? How do you do the self-reflection necessary to see?
So a great thing that I always reference is you are the people that you surround yourself with the most. So if you surround yourself with five dumbasses, you're going to be the sixth. I used to have a life where I had to deal with the world's most miserable person every day. Every day. Nothing was ever happy. Nothing was ever good. If they got a 99 on a fucking exam, it should have been 100. If they got platinum in League of Legends, it had to be diamond. If they got a fucking steak for free, but it's medium, it should have been medium rare. No matter what happened, they were miserable. And by proxy, by dealing with that person, I was fucking miserable every day,
Mhm.
even though I was a millionaire, even though I made sure everything was taken care of, even though when this person would be around, everything was clean for them, everything was cooked for them, everything was taken care of for them, while I was doing my own job, while I was doing everything for this person, they would still choose to be miserable. And by me allowing myself to be near this person, I too became miserable. And then when people let me know, hey, bro, you're kind of fucked up. And when my mind was, why am I so fucked up? And the answer was always because, oh, it's because I'm around this person. I then realized, oh, I should just get away from this person. So yeah, you become the people you surround yourself with. So when you realize you have a negative influence on you, just get away from that person if you can.
Mm. Interesting. You also manage yourself by things like you said, exercise, right? It sounds like,
Yeah.
do you think that you would be able to do what you do? Like if you didn't exercise, where would that negative energy go? As you said, you don't like to take out on, Jimmy, what is frustrating you from John and, whatever other insert other names, right? You try to
If I didn't
separate these
start
things.
working out, I'd probably be dead. To be honest, I think I'd just be fucking dead.
Mm.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I'd be dead.
So how long have you been in this industry?
6.5 years, nearly 7.
6.5 years. Okay. Um, what was it, just hoping you could make money gaming? Is that what got you into it?
Um, so I was living in Canada and I couldn't get a job because I didn't have resident status. I couldn't work a job. So the only way I could make money was from a remote job. I tried learning coding, but I was retarded. And so I just said, okay, I'll just be a YouTube content creator. I was in a college course. I made a video game theory video about Banjo Kazooie, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a YouTube video. And then I had this buddy called Shane. He was like, dude, John, if you were to do what you do on Discord on stream, I'd watch you every day. And I was like, okay. So I streamed, and I blew up pretty much immediately.
Wow. Can you tell who's going to blow up at this point? Like you can tell who's going to make it and who's not?
I can certainly tell you who's not going to make it. And
Okay.
I am very clear with my friends when they don't have it. I'm like, hey man, you should really. I hate doing this. Um, I've witnessed people's souls leave their body. Uh, when you have a friend who thinks they're going to make it in this industry, and when you have a friend who thinks I'm going to be the next big thing, just tell them to watch their own VODs and see how that will change. Because when someone watches their own content, and they become aware of what people are watching. Oh, oh, because I had to watch my own VODs. It is a painful experience. Have you ever done that?
No, I don't like watching my own content. I hate it,
Yep.
as
It's
everyone does.
painful.
Yeah.
Yep. It sucks, but you learn so much. And now I'm at the point where I shit you not. When I'm driving, I will pull up my own video and I'll just listen to it. And then I'll just think, okay, what can I do better? How can I make this more dynamic? Where did I drop the ball? And sometimes I would just watch a video and I was like, oh, that was good. And that feels great. Because that's some things that a lot of people just will not do. Because usually I'm very hypercritical of myself. But when I can finally say, oh, damn, that was a good video, I'm like, great, motivation. I got to keep it like that because I do very much care for my chat because I don't understand why these people watch me. I don't get it. I don't get why I go live to 5,000 people on Twitch. I don't get why I go live to 2,000 people on Kick. I don't get why I go to 4,000 people on YouTube. I don't get it. But I appreciate it. So if there's any way I can make it better for all of them, then I'm going to want to do that because, generally every content creator's mindset should be without these people, you're nothing. So you should probably treat them the best you can and try to entertain them because I don't want anybody to watch me because they feel bad for me. I want people to watch me because they're entertained. I hate the idea that someone's just watching me because they feel sorry for me. It's awful. I'd rather oh, this guy's funny. Or, oh, this guy talked about the thing that I like. Or, oh, this guy's pretty compelling. I'll be real. I don't try to be funny. I really don't. I really don't try to be entertaining. I try to be compelling. I like talking about the things that I think are important, that make people think more. And every now and then I'll play a Gooner Gotcha game because, well, I can't get, you can't get the Gooner out of you. I used to be a huge Gooner. So every now and then I go back to my vices. But usually I'm like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. More people should talk about this guy because he fucking sucks. Otherwise, nothing's going to fucking change. Currently, enemy number 1 is Hassan. Enemy number 2 is Denims. And I think they're horrible fucking people.
Gotcha. So, I'm actually curious. You said I used to be an intense gooner, but I feel like I've also heard you say that you're pretty asexual. Are these two things in conflict with one another, or did you have a phase where it was one and then the other?
So, okay. So asexual, as in I never wanted to have sex in real life.
Okay.
But I would vigorously masturbate.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't get turned on. I had a traumatic experience happen to me in 3rd grade as well as in when I was 16, where you probably know what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really feel safe in a woman, but I would feel safe in my hand. So yeah, I wouldn't want to have sex with women. So I would just jerk off nonstop. No, I was horny as fuck. But I just didn't want to be in a woman or a man. I'm not gay. I'm very straight. Very straight. But yeah, it was fine if it was a woman's hand or a woman's mouth, but because then I would still feel like I have control. Are you okay with me talking about this? Are you fine?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm an adult who has sex, so I am comfortable talking about sex.
Great. Yeah, so no woman ever made me come until I was 30. Ever. Every single time, it would make me, well, that's okay.
Do you think?
Besides when I lost my virginity, I did come there. That shit was crazy. That was only a one-time thing though. That sucked. That shit was wild. But other than that, yeah, I never really felt safe. And so we would do our stuff and then I would jerk off and then, I would come. But yeah, so no, I was a mega gooner, but just by masturbation, not by sex.
Gotcha. Okay.